Hi everyone, thanks for listening to my presentations. I have just published dyspepsia and then I was talking about the definition, the causes and symptoms. Today, like I've made a promise while now presenting the first topic on dyspepsia, that I'll be presenting on H. pylori testing, and that is what I'm doing right now. So, Helicobacter pylori testing, let's go. Helicobacter pylori was formerly known as Campylobacter pylori. It is a gram-negative helical-shaped bacteria. It's found in gastrointestinal tract and mostly in the stomach. It is responsible for peptic ulcer disease, gastritis, gastric carcinoma after a prolonged inflammation of the gastric walls, then dyspepsia, colorectal polyps, and so on. There are 4 different methods of testing H. pylori. Serology for H. pylori is not so excellent, no, but could be helpful. But we need to remember that it can be positive for years, even after H. pylori has been successfully, I repeat, successfully eradicated. When you still go and your test is serology for H. pylori, then it might be positive, and you start jabbing the patient with a lot of medication to treat H. pylori, right? Just note that. Urea breath test. Urea breath test is very sensitive and specific. Here we have radiolabeled urea given per aura to the patient, and H. Helicobacter pylori will metabolize the urea to carbon dioxide, although some call it carbon 4 oxide, and the CO2 will be detected in the breath of the affected person, okay, of the person being tested, right? Must not be on antibiotics or bismuth of salicylate for 1 month before we do this test. And this person that we want to test H. pylori upon using urea breath test must not take proton pump inhibitor, so no omeprazole, no esomeprazole, no pantoprazole, or H2 antagonists like Zantac or Pepcid or Tagamet for 1 week. Okay, let me repeat that. No antibiotics, no bismuth of salicylate for 1 month, and at least no proton pump inhibitors or H2 antagonists for 1 week before carrying out urea breath test. Urea breath test is not available everywhere, though home collection of the breath sample is possible, and that could be sent to centers with nuclear medical facilities. Stool antigen. You can carry out stool antigen if there is active infection with H. pylori. It must be active because you are going to make use of the stool sample. It's very specific, but not as sensitive as urea breath test. Here, like we gave warning the other time, no antacids, no proton pump inhibitors or antibiotics prior to sample collection. Endoscopy. Testing HP using endoscopy with tissue biopsy for direct or serological examination is the gold standard. Okay? So if you don't want to do urea breath test because it's not available, serology is not reliable because after eradication you can still get a positive result, then It's not an active case. You can get stool for stool antigen and you resort to endoscopy. That is the gold standard. Endoscopy is actually compulsory, particularly if the patient is greater than 60 years old. Endoscopy with stomach biopsy for H. pylori would be helpful. But if the result is normal, no crime, then the diagnosis is functional dyspepsia. We have to do endoscopy regardless of age if we are dealing with alarm features in dyspepsia. With that, I've come to the end of this short presentation. H. pylori is a serious bacteria that has tormented a lot of people, leading to dyspepsia and peptic ulcer disease worldwide. And we need to be able to make definitive diagnosis of it and embark on definitive treatment. Thanks for listening. Kindly remember to share and subscribe. I appreciate it.